Good morning, Kerry Worthington with ABC News. Health authorities are urging people in Sydney's southwest to get tested for coronavirus if they have any symptoms after fragments were found in sewage samples. New South Wales has gone 12 days with no new locally acquired cases. Dr Jeremy McAnulty from New South Wales Health says the fragments could be old cases, but people must not be complacent.
Fragments of the virus have been detected in the sewage network at Minto and Liverpool. While these detections may reflect known cases in these areas, New South Wales Health urges everyone living or working in these areas to monitor for symptoms and get tested and isolate immediately if they appear.
And health authorities in Queensland and Victoria have also urged vigilance after viral fragments were detected in sewage in those states as well. Travellers entering Victoria can expect a much quicker trip after checkpoints at the New South Wales border were dismantled. Leanne Wong has the details.
As of 6 o'clock last night, police have stopped checking permits at the border after the Victorian government eased travel restrictions with New South Wales. Sydney's last remaining red zone, Cumberland, is now orange, while previous orange zones, including Wollongong and the Blue Mountains, have transitioned to green. People arriving in Victoria from green or orange zones are still required to obtain a permit and may be subject to random checks by roving patrols staffed by a small group of officers. Police say most of the officers deployed to the border would now return to their normal duties within their local communities.
Johnson & Johnson plans to seek emergency use authorisation from the US Food and Drug Administration next week for its one-shot coronavirus vaccine. It's been found to be 85% effective in stopping severe infection, but its overall efficacy is 66% after large-scale global trials involving coronavirus variants. Johnson & Johnson says it has plans to deliver 1 billion doses of the vaccine this year. US President Joe Biden is growing impatient to get his $2 trillion pandemic relief package passed by Congress, warning people will be hurt if it's not. From Washington, Greg Jennett reports.
Joe Biden called his Treasury Secretary into the Oval Office for an economic briefing. Janet Yellen stressed that the stimulus money is needed urgently.
And the benefits of acting now and acting big will far outweigh the costs in the long run.
The president forecasts another 4 million jobs could disappear without extra government spending, although a negotiated deal between Democrats and Republicans is Mr Biden's preferred way to get the stimulus passed. The White House is leaving open the option of Democrats going it alone, using their numbers in the House and the Senate. Greg Jennett, ABC News, Washington.
Security's tight around the capital of Myanmar as newly elected members of parliament gather amid rumours of a military coup. Southeast Asia correspondent Mazoe Ford reports.
Members of Myanmar's parliament are due to take up their seats on Monday after the country went to the polls in November. Aung San Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy party won in a landslide, but the military claims the election was fraudulent and says it plans to take action if its complaints aren't taken seriously. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has called on all actors to desist from any form of incitement or provocation and to respect the election outcome. Security in the capital Naypyidaw is tight, with police guarding roads with fences and barbed wire.
Advocates for survivors of child abuse are continuing to call for more details about allegations of abuse in Tasmanian institutions. Since November, 13 state service employees have been stood down pending investigations. The state government initially disclosed the agencies of the workers facing allegations, but it's no longer doing so. Melbourne lawyer Angela Sidrinas says the lack of information nurtures a culture of distrust.
We know that secrecy is the thing that allows the abuse of children to flourish. So the more that is out there in the community, the less likely children are to be abused.
In sport, women's tennis world number 1 Ash Barty has lost her comeback exhibition match to the world number 2 Simona Halep in Adelaide. The Australian lost 3-6, 6-1 and then 10-8 in a super tiebreaker in what was her first competitive match in a year due to the coronavirus pandemic. Barty says she enjoyed being back on the court and playing in front of thousands of spectators.
I love playing in front of you guys, and it's pretty amazing to think of where we've been the last 12 months and to now have a near full crowd here. It's remarkable.
And in last night's other exhibition match, men's world number 2 Rafael Nadal defeated Dominic Thiem in straight sets. ABC News.